Hi, welcome back. Thanks for watching. So today I'm out again somewhere not very close to my home in New Mexico. I'm actually in Cornwall, England. So I'm here doing a show, working on another TV show, and I'm only here for about, I don't know, 9 or 10 days, and I have the day off today. This morning was a little nasty weather, but it's cleared up a bit. At least it's not raining. It's not, I wouldn't say clear, I guess. Still overcast and probably will be for the rest of the afternoon. But I thought I would do a bit of hiking up along the coast here. I'm in a place called Mullion in Cornwall, very near the Lizard. Something called the Lizard. I don't know exactly what the Lizard is, but I think it's a place, it's a landmark. There's some beautiful trails, some beautiful coasts, and obviously some extraordinary beaches. And even though it's a little overcast, I wanted to get out and get some shots in. The camera I brought today is not one that I've used very often. If you watched my introductory video where I showed my camera collection, today I'm using my Kowa Six. I got this camera several months ago and really have only put one roll of film through it just to kind of test it and make sure everything worked, which it did. So I brought it on this trip with me because I really wanted to put it through its paces and see how it would function as a medium format travel camera. Normally, I would reach for my Pentax 6x7 for something like this, where I thought I'd be in a place with some great landscapes. But the Pentax is a little big. It's a little heavy for a trip like this, especially a quick one. But the Kowa Six is a bit smaller, and it fits in this backpack, which is a smaller backpack, easier to maneuver on flights and take around with me. Kowa Six fits in here very nicely. I only brought one lens with it, which is the only lens I have for it, the 85 f2.8. Anyway, let's take it out, take a look at it, and see what we're working with today. All right, and there she is. The Kowa Six medium format square frame camera. So Kowa is a Japanese company who in the late 60s wanted to get into the medium format game. And to do that, they came up with this camera right here, the Kowa Six. It was really meant to be a lower price point, lower cost competition to a Hasselblad camera. Kowa has always been famous for making exquisite lenses and optics. They're very good at that. They still are to this day. They still make a lot of lenses, especially specialty lenses and lenses for the film and television industry, anamorphics, things like that. And they're extremely highly regarded. These lenses I know that were made for this camera are likewise highly regarded. However, the camera itself is kind of a little bit lost to obscurity. They went through 3 iterations. This is the original iteration. It's a 6x6 SLR, built like a tank, all mechanical, no battery. It's not too heavy, it's about 4 pounds, which, yes, sounds heavy, but in the world of medium format, that comes out on the lighter side, and it's relatively compact, which you would expect for a waist level finder 6x6 camera. Now, there are a few features here that were missing from this camera that the Hasselblad had, which was a way to keep costs low. Number one, there's no removable back, so you put your film in, that's your film, that's what you got. This camera also does not have any kind of mirror lockup. It doesn't have double exposure capability. That said, they did make future iterations that did have those additional features. There was the Kowa 6mm, which had a mirror lockup and also would do multiple exposures for you. And their last iteration was the Kowa Super 6.6, and that one actually had all the features of the 6mm, but included detachable backs. But the original Kowa 6 cameras, you can find these on eBay for, $350, $400, $500 in pretty decent condition. It's a great way to get into medium format photography, and if you like shooting 6x6, it's a low-cost, high-quality camera to use. One of my favorite things about the camera, in all honesty, is just how it looks. I just love the chrome, I love the shape, I love the silver lenses, and while it's no Hasselblad, the images that come out of this camera definitely hold their own. Especially this 85 2.8 is an excellent lens, sharp, clean, clear. You can take great images with this. They did make a great deal of other lenses and accessories for this camera, which unfortunately can be a little difficult to find because, let's face it, it was not on the market for very long and it was not terribly popular when it was on the market. So it's not easy to find those accessories, although I've seen some of the 55mm lenses and I think the 135mm lenses available for sale on eBay at not too terrible of prices. So thinking about picking up the 55 because I really like that focal length on my Pentax 6x7. And if I find a 135 for a decent price, I'd probably pick that up too. I've already loaded this camera up with some Portra 400 and taken a few shots through the week with it. I am on shot number 8 right now. I've got another roll of Portra 400 with me, so I can load that up if I go through it today, but that gives me about 16 shots for the day. And seeing as how it's overcast and not super great looking, and it's already 2:30 in the afternoon, I don't know how much I'm going to get to shoot anyway, but I'm excited about walking around with it, taking this hike, and seeing what I can find. This is an absolutely gorgeous part of the English coast, and I've never been here before. I love the mood and the feeling, the rocks, the beaches, the landscape is all very exquisite. So let's pack it up, let's get hiking, and let's see what we find. Okay, I did have a strap that came with the camera. I'm going to put that on to carry it with me, so I have it at the ready as I hike. It's the original strap. It's leather and a little stiff, not extremely comfortable, especially by modern standards, but I think it'll work just fine. I also like to put on just a little meter just in case. I use my phone a lot to meter this camera because I can set my meter for the format and frame size. But this little guy helps too. All right, so I've got a great shot already lined up. So I'm gonna try to get that. I'm gonna expose with this little meter, see what it says, then compare that against my phone's meter and see which one I wanna actually use. This guy's giving me 250 shutter at an 8:11 split. I'm shooting Portra 400, so I tend to err on the side of overexposure. So instead of doing an 8:11 split, I'll give it a half stop and shoot at f8 and 1/250th shutter. And I've got the exact same exposure reading in my phone, so we're all in agreement. Let's take the shot. You know, it's a real challenge for me shooting these waist level finders, especially after so many years shooting on a Pentax 6x7 where I'm looking through a prism, which everything is kind of going the right direction. You're not looking at a backwards image in your viewfinder. So when I'm looking at these waist level finders, everything goes the opposite way, and it's a real challenge. I think especially for handheld shooting, I see why people would want to use a tripod so much. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury today. I don't have a tripod or a monopod here with me that I can use. We've only got these video tripods that we're using for work with us, and those are just too heavy to hike with. But, you know, it's gonna make me slow down, I guess. And honestly, it's one of the things I like about film the most is that I do slow down. I do take my time, and I try to really focus on the image that I'm making. But it's an added distraction that kind of wish I didn't have, or at least I wish I was a little more used to. And I think the only way to get more used to it is to shoot more film in this camera. So I guess I will. Let's keep going. One of the things I love is these jagged rocks across the coastline. They all look so incredible. I love this little tide pool here. I could probably stay at this beach and shoot all afternoon and not run out of cool things to photograph, but I think there's a lot of things up this coastal trail. So I'm gonna get started walking before I lose all of my day. Whew. All right, it's getting a little cold, and I can't tell if it's sea spray or fog or a little rainy drizzle, but I'm starting to feel a little bit wet. Not enough to make me turn around, but I really don't want it to dump on me. There's so many of these amazing coves here where the water is just roiling and the rocks are so craggy and dramatic. You can do a whole series of photos with these. They're really fantastic. I hope you can hear me. Wind is getting pretty bad, so if the audio doesn't work out, I'll just voice over the whole thing. Right? That's fine. And that's it for this roll of film. If I want to do any more, I got to load more film, and I don't know how that's going to work in this weather. Maybe I'll find somewhere that I can do it in some relative shelter. Okay, yeah, definitely rain. I just checked the weather on my phone, and it says it's supposed to stop in 35 minutes. Hopefully it does, and it doesn't get worse before that. We'll see. I'm not ready to turn around quite yet. Okay, so the rain's let up a bit, which is good, and I'm walking down to this huge beach here on the coast. You don't really think of beaches much when you think of England, but there are a few, and they're really quite nice. I might not want to spend too much time sunbathing on one, but they're good for a visit. Oh no, I think there's somebody out there trying to surf. Holy moly. That's dedication. You gotta give props for that. Yeah, he's surfing. Doesn't matter where on earth you go, surfer's gonna surf. Weather, cold, doesn't matter. They're out there. God bless them. Okay, so the rain has let up a bit, and I think I have a chance to change my roll of film. I really want to get a shot of this guy surfing, so I'm going to go ahead and change that. I'll show you that process, and then we'll see if we can get a shot before he takes off. Maybe he'll catch a wave here. Maybe. And that's it, we're ready to go. Waiting to see if he catches a wave, but I don't know if he's caught a wave all day. Not much of a swell here right now, but he's still trying. You gotta give it to him. Come on, catch it. I was going for it. No, he's not. Come on. There he comes, he's going for it. Get up, get up. Nah. Alright, this is the one. This is the one. Get it, get it. He's going for it. Just body surfed it. I don't think he's catching anything he can stand up on. Not the hottest surf spot in the world. One thing that I've yet to completely figure out is exactly how much time I need to give myself when I'm making these videos. Because when you're doing this, everything takes like 3 or 4 times longer than it normally would. You know, because you're trying to stop and shoot yourself, place the camera, get a shot of you walking by, or, you know, just trying to find a spot to set the camera so you can film yourself taking a photo. You know, it's takes time. So what I'm worried about right now is that I didn't have enough time to do this today. At least not given what the weather was this morning and how close we are to dark now. I've only shot, I mean, not even a half dozen photos, and I haven't covered as much ground as I wanted to. But I've got a little bit more time left. There's more light out for now. Although I'm a little worried about having to walk back in the dark. And guess who has 2 thumbs and didn't bring his headlamp? This guy. 2 thumbs. There you go. So, oh, look at this. Another one of these amazing coves. I can't really get enough of them. I really love them. Might as well get a photo while the getting's good, right? I'm coming across what looks like an old village. Right now there's another beach. Some people outside throwing stones, skipping rocks, I guess. I mean, all in all, given the weather, the English don't seem fazed by it. I guess this is a pretty good day. I think this may be my last stop at this beach. In this little village here, there's a few interesting buildings. Looks like an old church, some great rocks. I'm gonna get a few more photos here and then start to head back and hopefully make it back before dark. I've walked beyond the church now when I've come to another beach. Wow, that's all I can say. I mean, the ocean is just roiling. The rocks are incredibly dramatic. The English coastline just gets better and better. What a beautiful place. I've gotten a couple of shots on this beach, but it seems like the tide's coming in, so I'm gonna make my way out. Honestly, I should be making my way home too. I've taken what should probably be my last photo for the day. It's getting pretty late. It's a little after 5, and I've got at least 2 miles maybe to get back to the hotel we're staying at. So that's a little bit of a hike, and I would like to get there before it's too dark. I have to say though, this has been a pretty incredible hike. I can't tell you how impressed I am by the English coastline here in Cornwall. It's incredibly dramatic, and I wish I could spend more time here shooting in different lighting conditions. Sunsets must be absolutely spectacular. Unfortunately, I didn't get that today, but I am happy with what I did get. Will be interesting to see how the Portra handles this kind of dreary evening light. The Kowa was fun to shoot. I have a real challenge with the square frame. It's not the easiest format for me, and it's made even more challenging looking through a waist level finder where everything's backwards. So not being able to set it up on a tripod, really take my time with it, I think was a bit of a hindrance. But I think my compositions worked out. It was great fun out here. It's a beautiful countryside. It's a beautiful place. Even in the bad weather, it's really not that bad. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.